Very good evening, everyone. So let's begin with our presentation session. So we have Sridevi. Sridevi, you can start your presentation.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Sridevi.
So, hello everyone. So, my task was to perform technical analysis on HDFC stock market dataset. So, let's now get into the presentation. So, to introduce to you all about technical analysis, this is nothing but performing analysis on a given dataset in order to get or infer something from that specific dataset. So, to give a short intro on it, let's now look at the dataset which we have chosen. So, I've taken the HDFC stock market dataset from Kaggle website. So, yeah, the first column contains the serial number, and the second column contains the date in which this specific observation was recorded. And then this is the open column, and this is the high column. This one is low column, and this is close column. So these four are the stock market values, each representing its own value. So open will represent the open value of that specific stock for this recorded time, and high value will represent the highest value that specific stock is attained for that specific date, and similarly low and close values. So this volume specifically, we can observe the number of stocks that has been brought in this column. So these are the 5 main columns which we'll be looking into in this data set. So let's have a view of the data set now. So this is how the data set looks like. As you can see, this is a very big data, and in real time, we usually get this much big data. So we'll be taking this data set to perform technical analysis. Yeah. So to perform technical analysis, the first thing which we'll be doing is the pre-process step, where we'll be changing this data set into a format wherein we can use it to perform technical analysis. So in that step, we'll be changing this date column as the index here, so that we can perform time series analysis using this data. Let's now continue with the presentation. So the first step which we'll be doing here is data loading and data preparation. So data loading process is nothing but we'll be loading the data into a Jupyter notebook. So we'll be working in Jupyter notebook here. So the first step is to load the data. In order to load the data into our Jupyter notebook, that is to read the CSV file, we use the method called read_CSV, which is a method in the pandas library. Python basically supports multiple sets of library, and one of the famous one is pandas library, and there's a method called read_csv in pandas. So we'll be using that method in order to read the CSV file. So this is the path of my CSV file. So I've given the path here, and it will go to that specific part and read the file, and it will store it as a data frame into this specific variable called df. So we'll be referring to df when we need to use this CSV data. So these are steps which comes under data loading, and under data preparation. As I already said, we'll be converting the date column into the index column. So as you can see, the index specifically contains the serial numbers. That is the number that is given for the observation. So we'll be converting the date column, which was a separate column in a data set, into the index of the data set. So this is the code which we have used to do this process. So df is the variable which we have in which we have stored the data set, and df of date will first we are changing the date column into the format of the date which Python can understand. So for that we are using pd.to_date time of. So we'll be seeing it in detail when we do the demo. So in this specific process, we'll be preparing the data in order to perform time series analysis. So next comes the support and resistance level. So there are two main things which we'll be doing under this technical analysis. The first one is performing support and resistance levels in the given stock market data set. And the second one is to perform trend lines. That is, we'll be plotting trend lines and we'll be observing the trends in the data set. So first, let us have a look at what the support and resistance levels are. So support and resistance level are nothing but straight lines that will be very helpful for us in order to analyze the trends and crucial moments or trend reversals basically in the data set. So we'll be taking one specific column. As I said, there are 5 main columns: open, close, low, high, and the volume. So we'll be choosing any one of these which we are going to analyze, and we'll be plotting it as a line graph, and then we'll be giving supporting level lines, that is support lines and resistance lines, in order to analyze the boundaries in which they fall into. So this is all about the support and resistance line, and it is very useful basically when we work with stock market and we perform technical analysis on stock market data. So I've listed the 5 main crucial points and the advantages for which we have chosen this specific thing under technical analysis. So the first one is indication of buying interest. That is if the level of the support, if the support level is crossed by the data set, that is one specific observation is observed to be going out of the boundary, then we can clearly say that there is a buying interest or there is a selling interest. So whether there is an uptrend or there is a downtrend, according to which we can say whether that specific stock has a buying potential or it has a selling potential. And next comes the identification of potential reversal. That is, there will be some specific trend in which that specific stock goes into, and when it falls out of that trend, this support level lines will help us to identify those. And third comes the risk management and the decision making. Here, risk management means we'll be as we all know about stock market and the working of stock market. So the risk management here basically helps a user to understand where that specific how much number of stock is the basic level, that is the riskless level which we can buy and keep it, so that there is no loss of money. That comes under risk management. And then about decision making, while doing a presentation on stochastic oscillator, I've given all this specific thing called decision making using stock market data set analysis. So that is basically here. So we'll be analyzing the data and we'll be making decision based on the data. So this comes under data driven decision making, making the user who uses this specific analysis result to buy or sell their stocks. So that's all about the 3 points. And fourth comes the market psychology. So by plotting these support levels, we can understand the psychology of the market, that is in what trend the market follows, or whether it is an uptrend, whether it is a downtrend, or in which period this specific trend is observed can be learned, so that the market psychology can be observed here. And lastly comes the confirmation of the trends. So as we'll be giving the boundaries to the levels, we can confirm which type of trend it goes. As I told, there are 2 types of trend, uptrend and downtrend. So we can confirm which trend has been followed in this specific period, so that we can buy or sell our stocks according to it. So this is all about the support and resistance level. Let's now look into the second main analysis type, which we'll be doing here, which is plotting trend lines. So plotting trend lines are nothing but connecting the higher points to get the upper trend, and connecting the lower points in order to get the lower trend, in order to get the downtrend. So these 2 trends will be, one of these will be selected and it will be plotted in a graph, and the predictions can be made using these trend lines. So the first advantage is that trend identification can be done. That is, when we plot the higher values and we plot the lower values, we can identify what is the greatest value that has been recorded and what is the least value that has been recorded and what trend it follows. And the next point is that the entry and exit points can be found. Here the entry and exit points mean that what is the basic number of stocks which can be brought and what is the maximum number of stocks which can be brought, so that we don't go out of the boundaries and we lost our money, or we do not get the profit which we want to get. And next comes the visualizing momentum. Visualizing momentum here means will not only observe the values as numbers during our analysis, we'll be visualizing it using these trend lines. So when we visualize it, we get to get more we get to know about more of the momentum which has been observed using this data set. And then comes the pattern recognition. Here the pattern recognition means what specific pattern in which this data set goes by, or this specific stock goes by, can be found. And next comes the support and resistance level. Here the support and resistance again means the previous one which we saw now. So it is again a part of this trend lines, wherein we'll be drawing the boundaries and we'll be looking into it so that we can observe the trends. So this is all about the trend lines. We'll be seeing about the examples during the demo session. So this is the main part, which is the chart types. So we'll be plotting a number of charts in order to analyze our data set. So here I've discussed about one specific main chart, which will be very useful for us to analyze stock market data set, which is candlestick charts. So candlestick plotting is nothing but a visual representation of each and every value of one specific observation. That is, as you can see here, this is how a candlestick chart looks like, and we can minimize or increase the level in which we observe by using these two rods here. So we can minimize it or we can expand it. So when we minimize it to the core, we can actually observe every single observation, and every single observation's open, high, close, and low values, and the volume of that specific observation can also be found. So this specific chart is very useful for visual representation of these stock market data set, and the other chart patterns will be discussed during the demo. So before seeing the application of the technical analysis, let's now have a quick demo now. So this is my Jupyter notebook in which I have done my technical analysis on the HDFC stock market data set. So the first step is to import the libraries which we'll be using in Python. So Python has a wide range of libraries, and these libraries are the ones which make Python a very strong language. So I've included NumPy library, Pandas library, and the Matplotlib library. So this NumPy library is basically used to do scientific analysis, it is basically used to work with arrays and other scientific values. And then comes the Pandas library. This library basically helps us to work with series and data frames. That is to handle large amount of data, which we'll be using now. And then comes a matplotlib.pyplot library. So this specific pyplot library helps us to plot and visualize the data set. So in this code snippet, we have given the path of the data set, and we have read it using the read_csv method in the Pandas library. And this is how our data set looks like. So we are going to change this date column into the index of this specific data set. So once we have done it using this code, as you can observe that the date has become the index value here, so that our analysis can be much more efficient. So this is an example for support and resistance levels. So here I've given three support levels. One is 1700, 1650, 1700, 1650, and 1600. So these three values are plotted here. So this is the first one, second one, and the third one. As you can see, the values of the stock market, this specific data set lies between this range. So when it goes out of this specific boundary, we can observe a potential trend reversals. So as I said before, support levels are very much useful for this only. So yeah, here I've chosen the closing price of the stock market data set for HDFC Bank. So this is how this blue line represents the HDFC Bank close price. And as we can see, the boundaries are here, which are represented using the green lines. So this is an example of how trend line works. So here I've chosen, again I've used the close price of the stock market HDFC data set. And here I've done the uptrend line. So this is the uptrend line where I have joined all the higher lows here. So when I join all the higher low values, I'll get the uptrend line. And when I join the lower high values, I'll get the downtrend line. So this is how my visualization looks like, and I can easily observe that when the specific value has crossed this line, I can say that the trend goes up, and when it goes down the line, I can say the trend has gone down. So this is what these trend lines are used for basically. So after this, I've done a list of visual representation of the stock of the data set. So the first one is line chart. So this is the line chart wherein I have plotted the close price value. So in this technical analysis, I have chosen the stock. I've chosen the close price as the basic technical analysis thing here. So this is how the line chart looks like, and using this we can analyze the boundary levels. And this is the bar chart wherein the higher and low values of the stock market data set are plotted. And finally, this is the candlestick chart. So as I told you all, you can minimize minimize the values using these rods, and we can analyze even the simplest observation. Yeah, if I hover over one of the value, I can see the date in which the specific observation was recorded, the open, high, low, and close values. So that's all about the demo. Let's now continue with the presentation. So these are the main applications of the technical analysis on HDFC stock market data set. The first one is the analysis of stock price movements. And the second one is the identification of support and resistance level, which we have done here. So using these, the potential trend reversals can be found. And this is the main idea behind doing this technical analysis. And to conclude with, I've given a demo on how to perform this technical analysis. And then what is the importance of doing this technical analysis was discussed in the presentation. So these are the references which I have used. So once I'm done with the PPT, you all done with the presentation, you all can look into the references also. So I've done with my presentation. If you all have any queries, you all can ask me.
Okay, so Sridevi, are you done with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so yes, as always, your presentation was quite detailed, explained each and everything. Like as always, you start with a interactive introduction and ending up with a lot of information. Okay, so I have a question for you. That initially you introduce that you will be loading data set from whether you are given or you will be loading from Kaggle website. So suppose in your data set there consists some null values or missing values. So how you will process them and make your data set much more accurate so that it can give an accurate result?
Yes, ma'am. So I have an answer for this. So this data set does not contain any null value. So I haven't done the pre-processing step here, but I've checked for it. So there's a method called is null of. So when I give pandas, when I give the df, if df is the variable in which I've stored my data set, if I give df dot is null of dot sum of, I can get the total number of null values which are there. And I've observed that during the technical analysis, and I found that there are no null values. And if there are any null values in my data set, and if I want to fill it, I can use fill NA of. So if I give fill NA of, it fills the null values which are present in the data set, which are with a much more efficient number, so that there won't be any outliers.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, this is only I was expecting. So from your side, do you have any questions to ask?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, for my last presentation, I'm yet to receive my score
Your presentation was,
on stochastic oscillator.
I guess, you have received for those scores now because you mail also at that time.
No, ma'am. I received it for the video presentation, but I'm yet to get it for the presentation which I done here in the Scrum meeting, ma'am.
Okay, so okay, I will just confirm once because the topic was same, no? So evaluation has already done for that thing. Okay, I will
Oh, okay.
confirm once from management. If I have to score it again, then I will do it.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to ask about the stipend amount, because it has been more than 15 days of my stipend date and I'm yet to receive it. So, should I put a mail or should I wait, ma'am? Or is there any update on the stipend?
Yes, yes. Surely you can put the mail as well as you can contact to Neha ma'am. She
Okay.
will only tell us that what is the process going on. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. 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 Next we have Ritik. You can start your presentation. Uh, okay.
Ma'am, I am audible and visible.
Yes, you are audible as well as visible.
So the topic for my today's presentation is Hackveda business operation using Python. So in this presentation, I will show how to send email using the SMTP server. So the subtopic for the today presentation is what is SMTP, introduction to email communication, components of an SMTP email, setting up an SMTP server, how SMTP works, security measures, app password, and conclusion. So what is SMTP? So SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and this protocol is used for sending and receiving messages over the internet. So generally we use SMTP protocol to send the email and POP3, which is post office protocol, to receive the email. So introduction to email communication has revolutionized the way we connect and share information in today's world. And today's many business and send messages over the email for their communication. So components of SMTP email. So there are three components of SMTP email, which are headers, bodies, and attachment. So the header contains information about the sender email, recipient email, subject, and date. Body contains the information about actual content such as text, images, and attachments. And attachment allow us to send file along with email such as any document or photos. So setting up an SMTP server. So we can set SMTP server using two ways. First, we can send SMTP server using a software called Postfix. And other way to set an SMTP server is we can use Google account. So Google will set up SMTP server for us. So how SMTP works? So first sender initiates email, then the sender composes its email and use the client email to send the email on a recipient address. Then the sender SMTP server establishes a connection with the recipient SMTP server, and finally the email is transferred from sender to receiver through the SMTP commands. So configuring email client to use an SMTP server. So to send email from an email like Outlook or Gmail, we need to configure the client to use our SMTP server setting. So this requires specifying the server address which is used by Google port. So here we are using port number 587 and authentication credentials. So we are using the Gmail and password which is authenticated via the Google SMTP authentication. So at SMTP authentication ensures that only authorized user can send emails through an SMTP server. It helps prevent unauthorized access and reduce the risk of email abuse. So only those people can send email through the SMTP server who are authorized via Google email. So they must have their email and password associated with Google. Otherwise, they cannot send email from the SMTP server because SMTP server don't authenticate to other users which do not have the actual Google email and passwords. Sending email using Telnet. So Telnet is a command line tool that can be used to manually send emails via SMTP. So in this presentation, in demonstration, we will use this Telnet to send email using the command line. Instead of via the Gmail app, which we use generally to send the emails, we are going to use the command line to send the email using the Telnet. I will show in the further demonstration. So what are the security measures in this SMTP? The first is the TLS, which is the transport layer security. It secures and encrypts our messages between client and the server, between the recipient and the sender. And second is SPF and DKIM, which is the sender policy framework and domain key identified mail. These are the method to authenticate and validate the origin of emails, reducing the risk of spoofing. So we can see sometimes we see that some email has come to us and we see that emails are on or spam. So this SPF separates such type of emails to spam emails if these are not authenticated by the Google. And third is DMARC, which is domain-based message authentication, reporting and conference. So this provides an additional authentication and report capabilities, which improves overall email security. So app password. App password are unique randomly generated password that allow application to securely access your email account without requiring your actual email account password. So we have our Gmail application in this. So if you want to send email through our Gmail application, Google Gmail application, so we can use Gmail password for such application. But if you want to send email via some writing subcode and not via Gmail application, so in such case, we cannot use Gmail password. We need to create something called app password. This app password are less secure and this allow us to send email using the codes, using some Python code to send email. So now we'll see the step to create this app password. So first we have to go on our Google account security setting, and on security in left hand menu, we have to click on app password, and on scrolling down we will look for the app password option. If we get app password option, then we can click on it and create it, and if we do not get the app password option, we may have to on two-step verification on Google. So what are the common issues? So sometimes you may encounter issues while sending email using an SMTP server. Then some problems are misconfigured setting, blacklisting, and email delivery failures. So we can troubleshoot these three if you cannot send email via the ports. Conclusion, SMTP is the backbone of email communication, enabling the seamless transmission of message worldwide. By understanding SMTP key concept and implementation, we can effectively send emails and troubleshoot any issues that may arise. So now we will see the demonstration to send emails. So I'm using the VS Code editor to write this code. So first I have imported the secret key and I have password from my config.py. So secret key is my email password, and app password is the one password which I use to create to send email via the Python code, because Gmail alone, Gmail password will not work to send email via the Python code, because Gmail password or to send code via Gmail password is only applicable to the Gmail application. So first I have created this config.py on which I have secret key and my app password. Then I am running this Flask application on my local system to send this email, and this SMTP server is running on Google server. So I have set this mail server is SMTP server. Port number is 587. TLS transport layer security. I am accessing transport layer security true. This means if I am sending emails, so there will be encryption using the TLS protocol. Then this is my sender email, me Mr. Ritik at gmail.com. And this is the app password which I created from Google to send code for the Python codes. Then the message, then after running this code, I have to go on this endpoint slash send underscore email. And then I have to write the recipient email. Then I have to call this function. So this message title is the subject of the email, which is I have write purchase ticket now. So I have thought that I have a shop of ticket booking, or we have ticket booking application, and we are sending email to the receiver. So I have the message title for the email is purchase ticket now, and the message body is with 30% discount valid till today 11:59 p.m. So I will run now this application. So I will run Python, and this file name is send underscore email.py. So I will run this application. So this application is running on the port 5000. So here we can see I do not have any email still in this my Google account. So first I will go on this. So I'll go on this port 12.127.0.0.1 colon 5000. Then the endpoint is slash send underscore email. And this is the recipient email, which is me, Mr. Tablet at gmail.com. So once I click on this, email will be sent. So email is sent here. So I can see here, yes, this one is received just now. We can see the sender email is me, Mr. Ritik at gmail.com. And the receiver email is me, Mr. Tablet at gmail.com. And timing is just now only 7:28. And the subject of the email is purchase ticket now, which I have shown here. The message title is purchase ticket now, and message body is with 30% discount valid till today 11:59 p.m. And the message body is this one with 30% discount valid till 11:59 p.m. So for reference, I have used the Hackveda playlist, which shows how to send email using the SMTP server. And to create this presentation, I have used Google Wikipedia. So, ma'am, if you have any question, you can ask me. Further, you can contact on my email ID if you have any query regarding my presentation. Thank you. That's all about my presentation.
Okay, so are you done with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So talking about your presentation, so your presentation was quite good as well as detailed. The way I was expecting, explaining each point that you have written in your slides, as well as your demonstration, you run it and it ran well. So your demonstration was quite clear. So from your side, do you have any questions to ask?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll provide your scores and feedback on your email.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so next we have INDRAJA. You can start your presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, is my screen visible?
No,
I didn't share.
yeah.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is INDRAJA KURUVA. I'm from Python domain. My project is about structure application using Python. And the topic today, our topic is about reading CSV data and plotting candlestick patterns in Python. Reading CSV data and plotting candlestick patterns in Python is to create visual representation of the data.
Let us know what is data visualization with Python and learn how to read CSV data and create candlestick patterns using pandas and matplot libraries. Reading CSV data in Python. CSV stands for common separated values. Let us understand the basics of CSV files and how to read them using powerful pandas libraries. CSV files are a common way to store and exchange tabular data. This involves the process of importing comma separated values from a file into a database data structure such as a data frame using libraries like Panda. This allows for easy manipulation and analysis of the data cleaning and pre-processing. This involves in handling missing values, convert data types, and ensure data consistency for accurate analysis. Understanding pattern. Let's know what is candlestick pattern. Candlestick patterns are visual indicators formed by one or more candlesticks on a price chart, providing insights into market sentiment and potential price movements. It involves two candles. And there are two types of there are bullish candlestick pattern and bearish candlestick pattern. This bullish pattern happens when the market is going down. For example, if a stock has been steadily declining and then forms a bullish pattern, this can be a single signal for traders and investors to consider a potential buying opportunity. And bearish candlestick pattern, it indicates a potential shift from bullish to bearish sentiment. It suggests that selling pressure has overlain by buying pressure and could signal a potential reversal in the uptrend. For example, if this candlestick pattern forms, it indicates a possible downturn in stock price. Selecting and manipulating data. There For selecting and manipulating data, we have to select relevant columns and data manipulation technique should be done and visual representation also should be. Selecting relevant is optimizing our data by selecting only essential columns for candlestick pattern analysis. Like we have technical indicators in stock market data, those represents like open price, close price, and data manipulation techniques is this is create or transform the data enhancement pattern visibility and accuracy. Visual preparation, this involves in organizing and formatting data in a way that is suitable for creating visual representation like charts, graphs, etc. Plot basic candlestick patterns. There are types: setting up the plot and plotting candlestick patterns and adding styles and customization. For setting up plot, we need to create necessary access labels and dimensions for candlestick charting. And plotting candlestick pattern in Python involves uh, visualization, financial, particularly stock price data using candlestick chart. We use matplot library for this. And adding styling and customization. This is to enhance the visual appearance of the candlestick charts with colors. Enhancing candlestick visualization. To enhance patterns, we need to know about technical indicators and pattern recognition and interactive features. Technical indicators are mathematical calculations of stock data. This incorporate additional technical indicators such as moving averages and volumes to provide deeper insights into price movements. And pattern recognition. Pattern recognition algorithm is to automatically identify and label candlestick patterns in our visualization and interact feature elements like tooltips, and zooming to allow users to explore the details of the candlestick patterns. And identify trading strategies. To identify the trading, to know the trading strategies, we need to know about backtesting candlestick patterns, risk management, and profile analysis. Backtesting candlestick patterns involves in evaluating the historical performance of the stock, and risk management encompasses techniques and rules designed to minimize potential financial losses. And profile analysis is is to analyze the impact of candlestick pattern on overall performance of an investment profile. And, and I have created a visualization of the data given by. I will show you. I have did in Python Jupyter. Here is the code I have written. I have imported all the libraries and I have imported pandas, matplotlib for data visualization and plot.
Hello. Yeah, Indraja, your voice
Ma'am,
is breaking too much. Please see you have network issue from your side.
ma'am, is it now clear?
Yeah, I can hear, but
Ma'am, you are able to see my screen.
yeah, your screen I can see. Okay, you go
Here is the
ahead.
program I have written to read. Program to read CSV file. Here is PD. We use pd.read in Python to read the CSV file, and we use drop NA for handling missing values. And I have converted the data types. And here is the plot. Here is the output of the data, and we can. This is the candlestick pattern. In conclusion, embracing the capabilities of data analysis and visualization in Python empowers individuals to uncover valuable insights and opportunities with financial markets. These are the references where I have seen about reading CSV file and for data visualization. If you have any questions, please ask or mail me.
Okay, so are you done with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. See, first of all, I would suggest you that please sit with a proper internet connection. Last time also there was network issue when you gave your presentation, because I was reviewing your presentation. You will be getting your score soon for the previous presentation. So that time also you were
Okay.
having. So please sit with a proper, because what happens now, actually your voice breaks too much throughout the presentation. Even you can see on our YouTube channel, we have uploaded that video. So okay, so because of this we can't able to relate the things. And see, your presentation styling was totally good. I like the way you using the templates, keeping everything in
Yes.
points with pictures. But I think you have to work on your presentation skills. Means you are presenting it well, but it was not at the level I expect from you. Means you are means the things can't able to relate that what you told in your previous slide, and you are connecting it with the next slide. The connection is not
Yes.
clear while you are presenting. Okay, so how you can improve
Ma'am.
this thing? Rehearse 2 3 times before giving the presentation, and this will
Yes.
only be done when you are clear with your concepts, that what are you talking about, what are you working on. So And initially, in starting of the presentation, keep a short story of the project you are doing. Like you are reading the CSV data and then you are plotting candlestick pattern. This is your topic. So why
Yes, ma'am.
you are doing it, where this is used. So just explain a little and give a little overview of the stock market, that where we will, what is the meaning of CSV, and then where we will be using these candlestick pattern. What is the meaning of candlestick pattern? Because directly jumping onto the candlestick pattern, a new person who is coming and listening to you will not get it, that what are candlesticks pattern. So give a slight overview of the stock market, that in the stock market, for seeing the, for visualizing the trends, whether the person has to buy or to sell the stocks. So these candlestick pattern helps in that way. So try to make up a story and try to relate out the things with the real world examples. So it will give your knowledge as well as the person who is listening to you will able to relate it more clearly. Okay, this is
Okay, ma'am.
one thing. Work on means basically you have to work on your presentation skills. Get clear with the concepts deeply and then rehearse it, then give your final presentation. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Second thing, your demonstration was not clear. Means you explain 2 3 lines starting of the code and then you jump directly to the chart you made it. Don't directly jump to the output. Just create a whole story, that I was given a data set. Show the data set that have been given to you. Then after showing the data set, then make up a story that we have given this, we are working on the Bank of Baroda data set, what the data set consists of, what is open, what is high, what is low. Just explain each and every term. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Then explain each and every time that why you are using this line in your code and what are the alternatives. If I don't use this, then what happen, or what is the other way of doing it. Then come to the conclusion that this is the final output we have got. This is the final patterns that we have observed in this way. Okay. I hope you are
Okay, ma'am.
clear that where you have to work on. So in the
Yes,
upcoming
ma'am.
presentation, I want to see the improvement in you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So from your side, do you have any questions to ask?
Ma'am, I didn't get any score update in intern tracker, ma'am.
Yeah, this is your second presentation.
No, ma'am, this is my fourth presentation.
So I guess your previous presentation is under process and you will be getting it soon. That I have, that is in
Okay,
all that I have the record. But previous two presentation, you received the score for them or not?
ma'am, only for one presentation I have received the score, ma'am.
Okay, so okay, one thing you do, just write the your previous presentation. Can you tell me the topic? I know that that was not given the scores, but second, what was the second presentation? I have no idea about it.
Overview of the project, ma'am.
Okay, so overview. Okay, I will just see and let you know.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, second presentation. Okay, okay. Can you tell me the date also, on which date you gave that presentation overview, if you are remembered?
Yes,
Yeah,
I think on November 2nd, ma'am.
November. Okay, thank you so much. I will just see and you will get the update soon.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so for this presentation, we'll provide your scores and feedback as well as all your previous presentation also you will receive it.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
okay, welcome. Yes, if you don't have any queries, so you can leave the meet, Indraja. So we are not left with any more interns. So we wrap up our session. Thank you so much, everyone.